In this video we're looking at 5-on-5 situations for practicing run and jump defence. In this scenario here we get a good jump switch and the turnover is forced. So in this drill I start the kids in particular positions on the floor so they get it set up for game situations. Here you can see this girl doesn't do a good job of cutting across and cutting off the ball handler or surprising him, and also a good ball handler is really dangerous to try and run and jump against. Good pressure here. You can see here this their matchups once the defence hasn't got a steal is a bit slow here, bit of a lack of communication, so this drill allows you to deal with those issues as well. Players communicating. Again, here we can see the players set up ready to put some pressure on. I actually will move this guy out of the ball handling position because he's the guy who went last time who blew through everybody. Like I say, it's dangerous to run and jump against a good ball handler, so I'll bring a poorer ball handler up who's exactly the kind of person you want to try and apply pressure against. So good pressure on the ball, jump switch here. This situation, this guy should have come up and shot the gap there, but instead he hedges but still comes up with a good play. And they come up with a ball. Watch this girl here again. She probably should have come and jump switched that time, but stayed with her man. One of the things you want to encourage players to do is to have a go, back themselves, particularly in the back court, and look at opportunities to surprise the ball carrier, which I think is what you should have done there. So particularly in the back court, if you can surprise the ball handler, they want to go and get them. Like there, good jump switch there. This player back here should have come up and shot the gap there. She might have had a chance of picking that pass off, but she stayed back with her player. And the guy behind her circled there would have been the one that rotated to her man had she gone up and shot the gap. And again, she does a pretty poor job there of communicating and matching up anyway. Good pressure on the ball here, and again if you can get good pressure on the ball and take away easy passes up the floor, you can force a turnover. Good jump switch here. Again, the third player involved here should have been coming up and shot the gap here, but was a bit late coming. You can see this girl here who was originally on the ball must have fell over, I think, and she's slow to get up, and unfortunately she runs to the ball side of the floor and leaves an open player down underneath the basket. These two players here should have been rotating back down towards the basket as soon as the ball went to the opposite side of the floor to them. Again, good pressure on the ball. I think this guy should have come and jump switched here. He could have surprised the ball handler, instead chose to stay with his player, but a good jump switch by that guy, and he comes up with the ball. Again, if you can just put good pressure on and people try and be aggressive against the pressure, you have a chance of forcing an issue. Now we're going to practice run and jumps off a foul shot. You'll see me here, I just drop the ball on the ground rather than have them shoot a foul shot. We assume the shot's gone in. Now the players have to quickly match up and look for run and jump situations. Great jump switch by this guy here. Comes across, surprises the ball handler and comes up with the ball. So again, we have everyone line up like they're ready to shoot a foul shot, drop the ball, and everyone has to match up and quickly get into their full court pressure defence. Okay, not such a good job there, but again, the pressure, even though they got an easy shot, ended up forcing that easy shot to be missed. This girl here who's circled is behind the line of the ball. She should have sprinted ahead and she might have been in a good position then to surprise the ball carrier. You'll see here I kind of demonstrate what she should have done. Go bang, go up and surprise him. If you can get him to put the ball in the air, then your gap shooter has a chance of coming down and perhaps getting a steal. And this girl here should be thinking about shooting the gap. We've got this a jump switch there. It's a bit slow coming, and unfortunately up with two players on the ball there. But not a bad job of everybody else hustling back. And again, you can see she's running to the ball that already has somebody on it. She should be looking for an open player. That's where breakdowns can occur once the ball gets down the floor. Getting ordinary effort there to jump switch. And again, you can see how a good ball handler, unless they're contained, can really blast through and cause havoc for pressing defences. There go with the red shoes again. Forces the ball up the floor. You can see a good rotation, a good gap shoot by this girl here who comes up and picks it off. Good pressure defence there. Good anticipation off the ball. Again, a lot of times just by putting pressure on people, they'll make ball handling errors. That kid's a pretty good ball handler. Just try to be too assertive, and so you can force a turnover just by your full court pressure. Here's our red shoes again, blasting through everybody. Blues do a very good job here to match up though quickly after the pressure was beaten and ultimately end up forcing a turnover. So there's pressure, and then there's getting back and matching up as quickly as possible. Good pressure on the ball here. Again, I think this guy circled should already be starting to head over in anticipation of a jump switch, but stays with his player. This guy here takes a good gamble and again surprises the ball handler and forces the error. So where players 2 passes away from the ball have a chance to come up and shoot gaps and pick off passes. So run and jumps is a great form of full court man-to-man pressure. You need pressure on the ball, players off the ball, particularly in the backcourt, prepared to leave their man and rotate towards the ball, and then gap shooters who are looking to anticipate where the next passes are likely to go. You get all those things together and generally you can force the offence into making a mistake. You can see here this guy here is the deepest player on the court now, should be back guarding the player furthest down the floor. We get our pressure up the floor here. These 2 girls here should be looking for their position, should be in a position better to come and jump switch, but he blows through. Our last guy back doesn't protect the basket and we give up an easy scoring opportunity. So everybody's got to perform their role for it to work.